I hated this book. Point blank period. There's no other way to put it. I hated this book. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Faith and thank you so much for watching. I've realized that there are quite a few books that me and BookTube, BookTok, Booksta, the social media book community do not agree on. So today we're going to talk about 5 books where my opinion is pretty different from the ones I see other people having in the book space. And one last thing before we get started, this video may contain spoilers for each of these books, so I'm going to put timestamps of when I talk about each book in the description below. And with that being said, let's get into it. The first book we're going to talk about is Yes Chef by Reilly. This book actually just came out within the last month, if I'm not mistaken, and I was actually an ARC reader for this book. I've seen so many people talk about this book and I've seen so many reviews for it, and I have not seen one single person rate it below 4 stars. I, however, gave it 2 stars. In some aspects, I do see the appeal of where other people like it. The writing's not bad, the FMC is likable, it has good ADHD rep, but really it's everything else about the book that I didn't like. Jack is genuinely one of the worst MMCs I have ever read about. He is so mean to Poppy, especially at the beginning of this book. And in my opinion, even though they're technically in a relationship before this, I don't think he really changes his attitude until probably the last 10% of the book. He was so insufferable and mean, Poppy deserved so much better. I see a lot of people say, oh, this couple would never last past the last chapter of this book, and I usually disagree with those. This is one of the only books I've ever read where I can confidently say they would not last past the final page. The pacing of this book is also just really bad. This start is so strong, the first 20% really hooked me into it, but after the first 20%, every single chapter felt like it was the same exact thing over and over and over and over again until probably the 70 to 80% mark. Again, for this one, I can see positives that people have about this book, again, Poppy and the writing, but literally everything else about this book, in my opinion, just wasn't good. All that being said, I would just like to clarify right now, and this goes for every book I'm about to talk about, this is not meant to be hate towards the author or anyone in the book community's opinions. This is simply meant to share my opinion about the book. I did genuinely want to love this book. I simply just could not. It wasn't for me. I'm definitely not the target audience. But if you read it or any of the books I'm about to talk about and you loved it, I am genuinely so happy for you. But after starting on that hate train, let's jump into a book where everybody else seems to hate it, but I love it. And that would be The Legacy by Elle. I think this book is so cute. I really like that it's a look into their future lives. Obviously now we have gotten books in their future, for example, The Graham Effect and Love Song, but those books aren't focused on these characters. So I did like just getting a little snippet where these characters are still the main characters. Don't get me wrong, this is far from my favorite Elle Kennedy book, but I don't hate this one at all. From what I've seen, the most controversial part about this book is Garrett reacting to Hannah when he finds out that she's pregnant. And again, while I do love this book, I can understand why people don't like that part. I personally love groveling. So the groveling he did after that, to me, was amazing. That being said, I do love this book. He could have groveled more. I just think this is a cute little finishing touch to put on the off-campus series. But let's get back to the hate train really quick. This is another one that I hated that BookTok loves. Direbound by Sable Sorensen. I hated this book. Point blank period. There's no other way to put it. I hated this book. In fact, I've talked so much about how much I hate this book. I don't really want to talk about how much I hate this book in this video because I'm so sick of talking about it because I hate it so much. So I'll just give a brief little rundown, and you can watch this video here if you want a more detailed rundown. This book was so repetitive and so boring. I feel like so much happened, but also nothing happened because it was just the same thing happening over and over and over and over again. BookTok calls this a romantasy. This book has maybe 5% romance in it. The main characters, honestly, not that bad. They definitely lacked some depth and had some inconsistencies, but they weren't unlikable. Except for the main girl's Wolf. I hated her. First of all, Wolfie, you're hundreds of years old and you're throwing temper tantrums like you're 2. Grow up. She was insufferable. The main character's fighting ability was so freaking inconsistent. It literally starts with her winning a street fight, and basically the entire first chapter is just telling us how good of a fighter she is. But then the second she gets to this training thing, apparently she sucks. Like, sucks so bad, like, oh, she's never fought a single second in her life. And then in one chapter, she fights the alpha guy, loses, duh. And the next chapter, with like no time skip, she beats him. And not in a, oh, he let her win way. No, she beats him. The ending was also incredibly predictable. You know why it was predictable? Because the author spoiled it on her Instagram. And this wasn't a, oh, the book's been out forever and now she's talking about it. I literally scrolled all the way back to when she was promoting the book and she spoiled the ending. And it wasn't like, oh, she accidentally posted the ending. No. It was one of the ways she promoted the book. It was the secret unknown royal trope. Oh, so you mean one of the main plot twists in the book is being used to promote the book. Again, this is no hate to the author. Even that last bit, I've actually seen publishing companies and authors spoiling their books in promotional materials an alarming amount, honestly. And it's getting more common, and I don't like that. But that is an entirely different discussion. I hate this book so much I can't talk about it anymore. Let's move on to one that I loved and BookTok hated, and that would be The Striker by Anna Huang. Again, with this one, I can understand where people don't like it. I love Anna Huang so much, and I love sports romances so much, so I was so excited for an Anna Huang sports romance. Do I agree when people say that it was so long? Yes, it is a 550 plus page romance book, and I am always wary of a romance book that is over 500 pages. However, this one, in my opinion, while yes, it definitely could have been shorter, I don't think it dragged as much as everyone else thinks it does. I kind of do think that that's the only thing I see people complaining about with this book. I love Asher and Scarlett so much, and I don't really ever see anybody complaining about them or their relationship. It's definitely a bit more slow burn than I personally like. However, with the length, I kind of expected that, but by no means did I dislike this book. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that like the length doesn't make some parts a bit slower. It absolutely does. And I feel like I'm very quick to critique that. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Pacing can easily make or break a book for me. But I don't know if it's because it was a sports romance or an Anna Huang romance or both, but I just really liked this one. King of Envy is a similar length. I think it might be a little bit shorter. And while I love that one too, the length of that one did get to me in a way that this one didn't. So again, while I definitely can see why people don't like it because of its length and because the length makes everything slow down a bit, I don't know if it's because of the time that I read it, the fact that it's a sports romance, the fact that it's an Anna Huang romance, I don't know. I just really liked this book. But for the final book, we're jumping back on the hate train. We have On Wings of Blood by Briar Boleyn. I hated this book more than I hated Direbound, and this is another one where I've talked about my reasons for hating it so much I don't really want to talk about it anymore. So go to this video if you want a more detailed breakdown. But come on, I am talking about my differing opinions from BookTok in this video, so obviously I have to share something, and I will. This is one of the most boring books that I've ever read, and I've read Around the World in 80 days. Nothing happens in this book. Literally, nothing happens. This is your next favorite dragon romantasy book, hey? No, it's not. There's not a dragon in this book until the last page. This also has 0% romance. Literally zero. Fantasy, sure. Dragon romantasy, no. And don't even get me started on the characters. Insufferable, annoying, boring, very unlikable. I can think of one character that I liked, and she was a side character, and the FMC treated her like crap. There's a weird smut scene in this book. Very out of place, very not my taste. It was just bad. It was just so bad. It was so bad. Oh, it was so bad. Her mother is in a sword. Or maybe it wasn't a sword. I don't know. I read this in February. I've tried so hard to block it out, guys. Her mother is in something, like her mother's soul. And she can hear her mother's thoughts, which also simply made no sense. Why it made no sense, I completely forgot, because like I just said, I have tried so hard to block this book out, and it has somewhat worked. Honestly, I was so glad that I can't remember why it didn't work, because that means I'm forgetting that I ever read this book and everything that I read in this book that was so bad. I need to calm down. It's not that serious. I genuinely have not one single good thing to say about this book. Oh my god, I just remembered why something made no sense. This book literally starts with her like falling into this other universe. And throughout the entire book, she makes not one singular effort to get back to her home universe. In this main universe, she also had magical powers because she's a fae. In the beginning, she fell to this new universe because she was about to die, and she used all of her magic to transport her to this new universe so that she wouldn't die. But wait, that didn't happen, because her mother, who was dead, was just somewhere in the ether, and her daughter was dying, and as her daughter's soul was descending to death, the mother grabbed the soul and threw it, and it landed in this other world. So this girl did not use an ounce of her magic to get to this other world, so why does she not have it? Maybe this is answered in a future book. I will never know, because I refuse to waste another second of my life on this series. If you liked this book, I am truly so happy for you because I wanted to love this. I was hoping it would be my next favorite dragon romantasy book. It was not. And I need to leave it like that and go calm down. Again, with the books I said I hated, truly, I mean no disrespect to the authors, they just were not for me. And again, if they were for you and you loved them, truly, I am so happy for you. I wish I could have sat here and said how much I loved every single one of these books. I just can't do that. So please do not be offended if you loved the book and I'm sitting here saying how much it sucked. There are so many books that I love that I see people say that they hate, and it is just a difference of opinion. But I'm gonna go calm down and continue reading the book that I love because guys, guess what? The reading slump is gone. It is gone thanks to When in Doubt by Anna Harrison. I'm reading the arc of it right now. I'm only at 20%, but I love it so much and I cannot wait to tell you all about it in my August reading wrap up. But that is all that I have for you guys today. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow my Instagram and my TikTok, which are in the description below for more bookish content. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Love you guys. Bye.